I'm now going to show you the Dutch method of foot trimming. It's a 5-step method. First 3 steps are preventative, last 2 steps are curative. The first thing to do is to measure the length of the inner claw. And the correct length on an average black and white cow would be 7.5 centimetres. And we measure this down the front wall here. So if you feel on the hairline, it'll be soft. You then feel a point at where the horn goes hard. And you measure from that point then to the tip of the toe. As you can see, this heifer's foot is the correct length. Step 1 is to measure the length of the inner claw. We know it is the correct length, and therefore the sole depth is correct. So we do not need to touch this claw, we go straight to step 2. Step 2 is a 2-part step, the first of which is to cut the outside claw to the correct length. It's important to cut it to the correct length, not the same length. Try and keep the clipper's handles in line with the inner wall, so you end up with a nice square toe. The second part of step 2 is to then plane the outer claw level with the inner claw. At the moment, the outer claw is slightly higher. As you can see, the outside claw is quite a bit higher than the inner claw. We therefore plane it down to create a 50-50 weight bearing surface. When I think I've taken enough off, I just put the toes together, look down the line of the leg. I think she just needs a fraction more horn taking off. We now have 50-50 weight bearing. We now move to step 3, and this is the modelling. This is where we cut the slope in the claw. We start with the inner claw first. And then move to the outer claw. It is important not to model in the front third of the foot. If you make the inner wall thin, the cow will go very lame. Modelling of the inner claw should be steeper than the modelling on the outer claw. We've now completed the modelling and moved to step 4. This is to sort out any problems in the back 2/3 of the outer claw. As you can see with this animal, there is nothing wrong with that part of the foot. We therefore, in this case, skip step 4 and move to step 5. This is to remove loose horn and fissures and trim down any hard ridges. In the case of the inner claw, we concentrate on the heel, and if need be, we would deal with the whole of the back 2/3 of the outer claw. With this animal, there's a few fissures in the heel which need to be removed of the inner claw. The outer claw has no fissures or loose horn and is fine left as it is. This is a completed foot in this case. I think it's very important to emphasise the need for routine trimming. Although this heifer foot looks perfect, she did have a slight overweight bearing in the outer claw. If this was left unchecked, it just would become greater and greater due to the irritation from concrete, etc., as you will see hopefully in the cows we're going to come to. I therefore cannot overemphasise and stress the importance of routine trimming. If you do this correctly, and again the emphasis on correctly, you could reduce your solar lesions by up to 75%. When you trim cow's feet, it is really important to do both back feet. If you do an animal just because she is lame, You must remember that the good foot or the other foot is taking the majority of weight and very often developing problems. So always remember, do both back feet. So step 1, measure the length of the inner claw, 7.5 centimetres from the coronet where the hard hold starts to the tip of the toe. As you can see, this animal's fine. So we move to step 2. We don't touch the inner claw because if the claw length is correct, the sole depth is correct, leave her be. If you remember some of Owen's anatomy, there is not a lot of horn depth there. Move to step 2, cut the claw to a correct length and play him off 50-50. Just stop and check. That's fine. Move to step 3, modelling. Model the inner one first. Then the outer one. You can see quite a bit of bruising there which just comes out as we model it. Step 4 is sort out any problems. As you can see here, there's just a little bit of white line, so we need to take that out. Any problems in the back 2/3 of the outer claw. Step 5, remove any loose horn and fissures, trim down any hard ridges. The inside claw is fine in this instance, outside claw just a little bit to come off. Okay, that one's complete.